I mean, maybe eventually you'll just grow to recognize that I'm me and Yellow is my sister. But right now, I don't know. You'll definitely not let me into your mind, so I can't show you the truth.
What sort of trickery were you up to in Sci-Fi last time?
I smell trickery. I told you exactly what I wanted. I wanted you to stop messing around with my friend. Stop sending him death threats, and we're going to talk it out right here, right now. So, um,
Hmm.
and if you don't, like I said, we can just get rid of you.
Hmm. Hold up. So if I get this correctly, whatever happens to that squirming little thing there happens to me, right?
I think it's a little more complicated than that, but essentially, yes. It's why you
That
both are afraid of trains and planes and cars, well, buses, not cars.
I'm not afraid of trains and buses. What are you talking about?
I'm I'm gonna use my sound creation to create like the
Oh yeah,
sound of a train right behind him.
yeah,
He's instantly gonna jump to the side. Ave is also
yeah,
what?
exactly.
Both of them, the exact same way of being scared. Ah, hmm, got me there. All right. So, what do
Well,
you suggest we do here then?
I don't know what your issues are with each other. I know you want to be in control, but at the same time, you, Ave, you're afraid. I'm not sure if you're afraid of being in control or you're just afraid that you're losing control. Work it out.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not. We are always in control of ourselves. It's most of the time it feels like things are happening around us, and so little that we can do, and just the world changes and changes and changes, and we're always just one step behind. My brother leaving family, my sister following in their footsteps, while I just was there to participate in everything. And I understand now that it's okay to see things unfold themselves. It's just how the world works. And I know, Naive, that I created you with this hatred towards losing control because I myself needed a way uh, to get a grip on it, I guess. So the thing is, I'm not in control of you, and you're not in control of me. We are two separate things now, two separate people. And at points when we use our strange, magical stuff that the way we take control of our characters, I don't take control of you because I am. What do you mean you are me? We look at you. We could never be the same thing. You're you're weak. You're pathetic. What can you even do? You're just a little bird person who is probably useless. Yes, yes, I am. I am useless with magical powers and all that kind of stuff. But even being so useless, I still decide what I do, and that's well, deciding what I want to do is kind of the whole thing that you try to take away from people. So in a way, I guess I have a power. You are cute. I'll show you that you're weak and pathetic. And he's gonna walk towards Eve. Gonna drop the pendant. He's gonna try to take him over. And Abe's just, it's not gonna work. The entire power was never yours. Even the initials that are on there are not. They're not. They have nothing to do with you. They're just the initials of a person that I admired all this time. You mean initials? And as pointing it out, it's quite clear that there is an S and a C on the watch. What do you mean? I created this? No, you didn't. That's Seymour. Seymour Clementine. The whole reason that I am into all of this stuff, that I created your powers, is just because I liked it from him. No, no, that's impossible. Look, and he's trying. Dave's just, no, it's not working. You can't take my mind over because my mind is your mind. I am you, and well, you are me. We are the same. And Nave is just gonna stand there, and the watch just slowly drops. Alright. Well, I have to stay in control. I have to be me. That's okay. I will not take control of you. I will just be you, and you will be me, and we'll all be fine. And right now, just relax and let go of my friend. Let go of Gabe. Because you're not him, you're me. And Nave's just gonna stand there confused and look around and see what the others are doing.
What's Kate?
I was gonna ask what Kate's doing this whole time.
Watching for the most part on his Minotaur.
I'll at one point bring out a plate of cookies if anybody wants them.
Yeah, Kate would have a cookie.
Academia.
He'd also feed it one to his Minotaur.
Homeboy is just, again, also just letting the two of you figure it out. So he's just gonna try to stay as standoffish as possible, but if he senses that Abe needs help, he'll jump to his aid. And it's pretty clear, though, that if he had to choose between Abe versus the Knave, he was choosing Abe. It's pretty clear.
And the moment that, while Knave is looking around, he's trying to assess everyone's reactions, and the moment that he notices that Homeboy is indeed showing signs of backing up the other horse, he's gonna, well, that couldn't be right. That couldn't be correct. Unless this is true. Yellow. Chrono. Is the same happening to you? Are we all? Is this normal?
It's a little different for each of us, but I mean, I told you Yellow Girl isn't my sister. More of a clone.
Huh.
Yeah, I can't say I really get it, but
I think Forrest gets it, so trust them.
Right. So what? Who am? What am I now? Who am I now? What's this? This isn't normal, right?
Not really. I mean, it's normal for us, but we've been through some shit. So,
Okay. All right. Well, let me try something. And he's gonna start to try to hypnotize himself
Okay.
into leaving whatever body that he's currently inhabiting.
Okay.
If you want me to roll anything for this, just say the word.
Cool. So let me just make sure I understand what's happening. So the knave is just trying to release. It's just trying to like
from
Gabe.
release himself from Gabe. Yes. Okay. So yes, you will be able to hypnotize yourself, which causes Gabe to return back and take over control of his body. The irony is that Ave has this realization now, and through Ave, so does the Knave, that since Knave was able to release control, he's released control in order to gain control. So from this point forward, you cannot control when Yellow takes over you. However, Ave can induce the Knave of Diamonds to take control of Gabe. From this point forward, at will, you can make Knave of Diamonds come out or have the Knave of Diamonds go away.
Okay.
The Knave, you just induced by you, moving forward if you want.
Gabriel's your persona.
Yes,
Persona.
Abe has gotten his persona. Yes.
Persona!
wow,
Well,
that was non-violent and very productive.
that
Are
went
you-
way better than I expected.
You
Alright.
okay, Ave? Everything feel all right?
Yeah, I feel relieved. Funnily enough, I feel like I'm in control.
Good.
Thank you, everyone, for this. Are
Problem.
you all right, Gabe?
Yeah, how do I feel? Do I feel still sleepy? Do I feel like I got a full rest?
I would not a full rest, but a power nap. It felt like you had a power nap.
Oh man.
You really would love to have some angel nectar right about now, though.
Oh yeah. So he just
How about we just have one of these macadamia nut cookies and some skim milk instead?
I will mentally command Boss to keep the angel nectar away from him.
Hey, I helped you with that Minotaur.
We helped Nave and Ave. Now we're going to help you. And so through this 10-step program, we're gonna...
Nice.
Pulls another from his other pocket.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else for us, I don't think. I mean, you're welcome to stay around the ranch, come and leave as you go. But do know that time is a little wonky in here. I mean, you'll go out and you won't feel like any time has passed, and that's probably because no time has passed.
So what he's saying is I can sleep here, go out, and have work, and then have more time to work on things.
Yeah, I've spent a whole day in here and only a few hours passed outside.
Out of
So-
character, yeah,
That's gonna take a toll on you.
out of character. I don't think mechanically you can get a full night's
Mhm.
rest by just having a full rice nest, because it's almost like
Yeah.
when you're asleep, you dream, and yes, in a dream it feels like it's longer than it is, but you're still at the end of the day getting a full night's sleep and dreaming for part of the time. So I wouldn't let you do that.
Darn.
Makes sense.
All right. Well, Gabe's
I mean-
like, well, I'm gonna get out, take a nap.
All right. So I think the end of the day has occurred.
Yeah.
Finally. All right.
Mhm.
We finished the day. That's all I wanted to do at minimum. All right.
Calendar.
Next morning rolls around. Okay. And today's a new day. If you want to bail out Seymour, you may.
Yep.
Michael
We'll take you to
Stoll
the house.
can come back. Honestly, like Michael Stoll can come back whenever you need him to come back, story-wise. So you tell me what order you want to do things, or if there's other things you want to do this morning, that's fine too.
Yeah, I
mean-
think our options are the League of Old Gentlemen or
The League of Old Gentlemen. I love it.
or the complex. I think that's basically our 2 routes. For
I
now.
think we should do the league because the problem is if we I know we have an out basically an hour and a half to our normal time, but the issue is because the crossover is about to happen. So if we go and do the Vita stuff, I don't think it'll be like enough time to pull that stuff. So probably better if we do the League of Gentlemen.
Okay.
That leaves
League
Kemper,
of
Michael
Gentlemen.
Stoll.
Well, if things get hairy, I can always bamp us out. Not sure where we'll end up, but I can bamp us out.
Even Dennis and Nathaniel Bosk are our further
Okay.
research. I think Nathaniel Bosk, of course, is our. No, we don't have to do much more there. But Dennis, Michael Stoll, and Kemper.
Yeah, so we can just talk to Gabe's dad and
Sure, he can come
bring
back.
Seymour in. So I assume we
Hmm.
could. I mean, we can bring Seymour and then have the stuff with Gabe's dad because it'd be easy.
Hmm.
Just go get Seymour, and we're like, "Hey, Seymour, we're gonna take you to our basically Hall of Salt."
Okay, so you're gonna get Seymour first.
Yeah.
Then that makes sense. Okay. So you all will I'm assuming the 4 of you.
Mhm.
Tomas and V. Well, V probably doesn't want to get close anywhere near the penitentiary or
Police.
jail or police station, whatever. So she'll just stay back. Tomas can tag along. He doesn't have to. But you will be able to release him with his bail. Now, the only technical complication is that one of the terms of him being released is that he still needs to wear his collar. So he's not supposed to be using his mental powers. Out of character, if Gabe does believe he can do something about that,
Yeah.
but that's up to him. So Seymour will emerge and say, "Oh, it's so nice to be in my own clothes for once. Those jumpsuits are very itchy."
I can imagine. But don't worry. We'll take you to my place. I'll have the golems whip up some nice food for you.
Thank you again, Mr. Stoll, for making all the arrangements.
Well, let's just head out, and when we get into the car, he's like, and once we get there, I'll work on this little thing. Do you know if it's magic? Specifically?
My collar?
Yes.
Good portion of it is magical. Why?
Oh, okay, cool. Because we're going to need your powers, so...
That's not legal, though, is it?
You're supposed to just keep it on, right?
That is what they technically told me, was to keep it on.
And as long as I keep it on, it's fine.
Well, I suppose by that logic, I can't argue with you there. I don't choose to argue with you there, then.
Look, if I make you something that just happens to stop it, don't worry, I checked the law. No one has done it yet, so it's not illegal yet.
Keyword yet.
While you're in the car, go ahead. I'm sorry, we're going to say something, Joey?
No.
While you're in the car, I'm going to say that Seymour is... he seems to notice you. He'll just say, "Oh, Ave, good to see you again."
Nice to see you too. I still need to work on that promise that I did about, advertising your skills via live stream. I'll make sure people like you.
That's very sweet of you. To be very honest, right now, given everything that's happening, part of me really feels like I should just stay under the radar. I don't know how effective your attempts at making me more accepted in society would, I don't know if timing wise that would be great given what I presume is going to be a bit of a public challenge.
Makes sense. But, you know, as soon as all of this is done, I'll make work of that. I really want to see you back in action.
Would be nice. I did miss those days. Don't get me wrong, and I feel like the community center has brought a lot of reward. Has been a rewarding experience, but there's just nothing like performing on stage. The thrill of the audience. Having everyone just fully engaged in everything that you are doing. Definitely miss that. Makes you feel like you're in total control of everything.
True.
Feel the
Can't
center of the
argue with that.
universe.
That's the illusion, though. The mind is a very complicated thing. One of the things that mentalists like to say is that they call it mind control, but it's not truly, you're not truly fully in control. That's the illusion. You can compel, but at the end of the day, everyone's mind is fully their own, and sometimes those who fall under mind control, usually it's because a piece of them wants to be compelled to do those things.
Makes
And
sense.
Look at me, he says. I sound like a magician who just revealed some of his biggest secrets.
Don't worry. We'll keep them secret.
As a fellow mental person, trade secrets. We'll keep them.
I'll give you a wink, and you'll get home. By that point, you will enter, and immediately Seymour will go, I smell mahogany and firewood with a tint of licorice? And that's when Raphael walks by. Hi, Dad.
Hey, John, how's
Seymour kind of
grandpa?
Seymour
Grandpa?
follows your son.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah.
How was your
I
time with
remember
grandpa?
Grandpa's great. He's with Angie right now. I think Angie's just showing him a project she was working on for school.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Cool. What did you guys take you?
Oh, he took us out to dinner last night. We went to go see a movie, some mindless action film from like the Marvel universe. It was okay, I guess. And then yeah, we came over this morning.
All right.
Did we miss anything?
Oh, yeah, but it's all good.
He'll look and say, "Oh, hey, Cade."
Got a Bobot working.
I see that. Wow. So, wait, did Dad give you that?
No, I mean I mostly built it. Bobot, give him a high five.
He'll hit him really hard.
Chainsaw.
Oh. Wow. Wait, so you built this?
Yeah, you want to ride it?
Yeah, I do.
Climb on.
Oh, he'll just go ahead and climb on. And how fast can this thing go?
Oh, about 120 feet per 6 seconds. Run, buddy, run.
And he'll go run. Out of character, I meant to ask this also as a follow-up Wilma question. So, what does Raphael's cologne smell like to everybody? If you could pinpoint your character's favorite scent. Cade was like motor oil and something else. I forgot. But motor oil
Yeah,
and
the
something
apple
else.
dumplings and
Apple dumplings.
the oil in a workshop.
Nice.
I think it is a combination of like his like the magic workshop and like his workshop, so it's like a bunch of like whatever magic stuff smells, and then smells of angel nectar.
Of course it does.
For Ave, it's probably like this fresh foresty scent, just like
Mm.
this like a forest right after a rain. Just like this scent of fresh rain together with this natural forest scent and little hints of sawdust.
How very Hufflepuff of you.
But I'm Ravenclaw.
I know.
So for rest, the smell is going to be. It smells like you're standing in the middle of like a field, and you're having a picnic. And like all the smells from the baked goods and the wind on the breeze, and for some reason there's just this tiny hint of horse manure.
Okay. Okay.
and that
Nice. and dead horse manure and dead chicken. There you go. That's the scent.
I assume. Well, as they're going, I'm like,
Perfect
Seymour, do
sense.
you want anything particular to eat, drink?
I would love to have really anything at this point. The food that they serve you, they were serving this gray stuff with brown sauce of some sort, and it just didn't quite appeal to me.
He goes, well, and he kind of like takes out his phone. Here is the menu. Buford can get some of the golems, and it's like just long list. This is what we can make, and this is what we with all what we have. Choose whatever.
Oh,
I have my own app.
He looks at it. For breakfast, a chocolate croissant would be nice.
There you go, Buford. You know what to do.
Yes, Master Stoll. He'll go ahead and make it. I'm assuming you're going to go look for your dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dad, you down the hole?
Is this just going to be you, or is everybody else following
I
you?
assume Bress is at least coming. I'm not sure if anyone else is coming.
If you'll invite me, I will.
I'll invite everyone to go if they want.
If Cade wants to be involved, he can come back after
Yeah.
circling around. You can be involved in the scene if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll come back.
Son, good to see you. He'll go over to you and give you a hug.
I'll have him back. I'm glad you actually spent some time.
It was an enjoyable time, yes. I did miss my grandchildren.
Good.
So, you seem to be busy, he says, looking at the Minotaur with the axe chainsaw.
I put the some security runes on it. It is non-lethal.
Of course you did. I can't stay for too long though, son. I am needed at the office again.
But we got a question.
Certainly.
What were you working with Nathaniel Bosk?
That's confidential.
Well, Nathaniel Bosk is Perez's grandfather, and he already told Perez the basics of it. Not anything in too detail, but you want to explain?
You know, I think I'm gonna take a stab in the dark. You know he's not my grandfather, don't you?
Yes. I know that he's not actually your grandfather.
Well, if you feel it's that confidential, Gabe can leave. But I'm not gonna. I don't want to make you do that.
I apologize, Gabe. He promised me not to reveal this to anyone, but if he already revealed it to you, then I suppose it's fair game. Yes, essentially we were working on a very special project. It started off as a new state-of-the-art method of doing character creation. a way that you could essentially scan yourself and allow yourself to create a copy of yourself in the game as a basis for your character, and from that point you can build upon it, sort of as a preset of some sort. That already is a feature that's in the game right now. But prior to that, some of our engineers decided to do some experimentations on it, a hackathon, if you will, just trying to push the envelope and playing around, see what they can come up with. And they ended up forming the ability of, well, artificially creating genetic material. It started off as a body part here or there, organs. Eventually this experiment could have spurned what could be some medical advances that could help people. But there was a lot of debate on whether or not to move forward because it was very controversial, as you can probably imagine. This technology was very controversial. Nathaniel Bosk wanted us to push the envelope in more and asked, would it be possible if we're able to create these different pieces of living material, if it was possible to create an entire person, like cloning. A lot of the developers thought it was a crazy idea and full of risks, and certainly would cause a bit of a controversial issue with the public, which is why we never allowed it to become public. It was a top secret project. You were one of the few and only successful results from that project.
What are the others?
They didn't survive. I suppose you're the first and only that lived to be as long as you have.
Here's what I don't understand, though. Why would a game company that develops software, hardware, and programs a game be delving into the field of genetics and cloning?
Like I said, it was just a hackathon project. The engineers... Yes. Out of character, at my company, we do that all the time. We have like an innovation day or like a hackathon day where you basically are free to just make whatever the heck you want. It has nothing to do with even what you're working on. So very much is something that just happens to a lot of tech companies. Like, then to just go off and do things that have nothing to do with their field, for example.
And just like a megacorp. So
I
imagine
understand.
a hackathon for...
Yeah.
I understand what it is. The point that Forrest is trying to push is like, it's very odd that a game tech software company suddenly had a huge jump from the field of engineering and computer programming to genetic engineering and biology.
It happened by accident. Like I said, the original plan was to improve our character creation process, and then it sort of evolved into something else, and then they accidentally somehow through their programming found a way to create organic material with it in real life, not in game.
And how does Dr. Kemper play into this?
Dr. Kemper has nothing to do with that specific project.
But he has something to do with you, and what is that?
Dr. Kemper and I, we were colleagues. We were friends back in school. And TBK ended up becoming a scientist, and I ended up becoming a software engineer. So I would share with him a lot of the ideas and breakthroughs that we're having here and at Vita. And he also became friends with Nathaniel Bosk and wanted to help him. So
Do I think he's hiding anything from me?
Yeah, I was about to do the same thing.
yeah, roll an insight.
That's a good roll. then minus only 1. Wow, 17.
20.
You believe that he's telling the truth. You believe that Dr. Kemper has nothing to do with that project.
So you're just old friends. No current conversations happening between the two of you.
We still converse to this day. He was one of the people who actually vouched for you, Mr. Oz, to participate in the rehabilitation program. He was the one who spoke to me to contact with Necromagus, and thus all of this came about.
So you're not involved with this Vita compound at all, or anything adjacent to it?
I personally am not overseeing that specific project. Phoebe Messer is. And as far as I know, Dr. Kemper doesn't seem to know really much about that complex either, though I did hear that he visited the complex recently, and out of character, you don't think he's lying about that either.
Was he lying about any of this stuff before?
About
Or maybe not
about
truthful, like the genetics and everything about that. And
no,
like,
that's the truth.
Hold on, Cade. Can you get that recording?
Pull it out.
Pull out. Do you know what Dr. Kemper is talking about in this moment?
You'll replay the message, and this is the one with which
Crucible.
recording? There's two of them, right?
Because we're not going to the boss.
Yeah, I can
boss
pull
one
out.
is
It's the most recent one that I revealed
yeah, it's
to
the
you.
most recent one. Yeah, it's the one where
The
he's like
catalyst.
the catalyst.
The
Yeah,
catalyst.
not the crucible. That's Mass Effect.
That's Mass Effect. No, there's no crucible in this one. The catalyst. He'll say, "Catalyst. Catalyst. Why does that sound familiar?"
Did he mention anything?
I don't remember. He sort of tilts his head like there's something there, but
Seymour,
he can't
come
quite
here.
get to it.
Seymour, come here for a moment.
Of course. What do you need?
And he kind of points to his dad. Would this be?
he's definitely been affected.
Would this be? It would happen if someone's like something blocked.
He does seem to be showing symptoms of having his mind blocked off of some memory that refuses to come out.
Dad, can you come with me?
Sure, certainly.
I know you're busy right now, but this is very important. Anyway, very deadly serious. Seymour, come with me.
Okay.
All right. And can I? Want you to make a magic check to see if I can make like something that just stops the collar, or like maybe make like
Yes.
Seymour a bracelet to do it.
Yes, you can basically deactivate it temporarily if you want. Just don't
yeah,
fail.
I have a 21.
Okay.
Just don't
Yes,
fail.
you can deactivate the collar temporarily so that he can use his mental abilities. Yes.
Yeah, it's more like I imagine I make a bracelet so it suppresses it, so I don't deactivate it. So it's like we didn't deactivate, we didn't break any laws, we just did it. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, here you go. I make sure to pick something. I had my daughter pick a more stylish one of these, so you can actually work. Make it
Okay.
like a bracelet. Can you help my dad out?
I'll give it a shot. It's been a while since I've done this, so hopefully
If
I won't
anybody
know.
asks, it was me.
Yes. Worst case scenario, hopefully you'll just end up with a bit of a migraine afterwards. And with luck, I won't end up melting your brain. Wait, what?
It's fine, Dad. It's fine, Dad. Here, have an angel nectar. I know you like it.
How is your insurance, Mr. Stoll?
You value your teeth?
Can I just quickly, while he's preparing to do this, Seymour?
Yes.
Don't worry, you got this. You know how to do this. We'll be fine.
He'll smile.
And can I use my chariot?
Yes, you
Ooh.
can. Yes, you can.
There we go.
Go ahead. In fact, because you're using that card, he'll be able to have the confidence to not only delve into his mind, but now it'll have an extra oomph to it. So
Nice.
he'll give you a pat on the back and says, I appreciate that. Thank you, Ave.
No problem.
All right. Let's see how sensational I can be, he says. He cracks his knuckles, and Michael Stoll looks a little nervous. Seymour says, the best advice I can give you, Michael Stoll, is to just relax. The more that you're able to clear your mind, the less uncomfortable this will be. Very well, Michael Stoll says. He will place his hand directly towards his head and then just kind of start to press between the temples. And then Michael Stoll, you'll just kind of see start to relax and release. And because of the card that you use, it'll have an extra oomph, and you all are actually going to be able to see what Seymour sees. So you'll actually witness the
Cool.
things he sees.
Mhm.
So you're almost in your own. It's like a mind palace as well, but you're within Michael Stoll's head, and you'll basically see Seymour there as well, and he'll see the four of you. He'll go, "Oh, well, hello. This doesn't happen as often. Once in a blue moon, maybe."
You're stronger than you realize.
It's very sensational.
I suppose so. Do you see that? He says, and you kind of see this distorted mesh of cloudiness. And he says, that is the mental block, Mr. Stoll. Gabriel was right. It seems like something is sealed here for some reason. He's like, pulls up his sleeves, cracks his knuckles again, and then just starts trying to unravel the tangled mess around, almost Doctor Strange style. Basically is how I envision this. And then little by little, you will now find yourself in a scene almost pensive-like of one of Michael Stoll's locked away memories. This is way, 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 way back when Michael Stoll was a lot younger, even though he still looks young for his age. And you see him hunched over a very elaborate, powerful looking computer. And, he's just kind of typing away, and you can clearly see this is probably like the beginnings of the Vita project when he was first creating it. And it's at that point you start hearing this voice, and it doesn't seem like the voice is coming from the room itself. It's almost like the voice is coming from his head, from his mind. And the voice says, embrace who you are. Why live in fear and stay in this place? Cade, this sounds exactly like the voice that you heard. Pretty much exact same thing. And Michael, looks around. He's not really sure, what that was. And he goes, it must be working really late. He takes off his glasses, and he's just kind of delving more and more into his computer. And then all of a sudden he goes, wait a moment. What is that? And something pops up into his monitor, and he sort of types a little bit more on this computer. The thing is, with this computer, it's supposed to be something that is more technical in nature, but then Gabe can feel something magical coming over the machine. Not because the machine itself was magical, but it's almost like something else from somewhere is infusing the machine with magic. And there's these smoky tendril things that are... It's filling up the monitor, filling up the screen. And none of this makes any technological sense. But if you can imagine, if you were on a computer and all of a sudden there's smoke coming in, fogging your screen, but it's from the inside, not from the outside, and there's like you suddenly see this like spark, this little tiny spark, almost like a little star inside, and he uses the machine to like zoom in towards this star, and it almost looks like a small galaxy of sorts, a small galaxy or a small universe. And he zooms in really, 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 really quickly, and you start seeing like solar systems, and you start seeing all these stars and everything. And he's just exploring. It's a lot of time passes by. It's almost like he's been staying up late just exploring this area. And you also can see this, not a black mist, but almost like a green mist that's sort of enveloping certain pockets of this universe. And the source comes from this specific planet. I'm envisioning this green swirling mass to be similar to the live stream in Final Fantasy VII. That's probably like the best way I could describe it. And something about this planet he's very curious about, because of this is where this green live streamy thing is coming from. And when he zooms all the way into the surface of this planet, he's looking for, I don't know, anything. But this entire planet is in ruins. It seems like the entire planet itself was abandoned because there's no life on it. There's no people, there's no creatures, there's no animals. It's just, there's definitely signs that there used to be a civilization here at some point, but for whatever reason, it is just completely barren. And the voice just keeps whispering louder and louder, embrace who you are. Why live in fear? Stay in this place. And then he starts to hear a different message. The message says, you are using time that isn't yours, selfishly, which is the exact same thing that Forrest said as well earlier in the session as well. And that's when Michael calls up, gets off the phone, and he starts calling up Dr. Kemper. And then he says, you're right. It does exist. I found it, though. I found the dead universe. But there's nothing there anymore. I think I have an idea, though, of how to bring it back to life. And so he takes the Vita code, and he pulls up the character creator, and he decides to create a character. But instead of creating the character in the Vita platform, he decides to create the clanner on this planet instead. And you can sort of see the green life stream coalescing around this character that he just created, and it actually gives life to this character in this universe. So the implication is Vita itself is actually its own universe that they discovered. It is its own, they found a dead universe, and they basically are filling it with people. So these aren't actually virtual characters, supposedly. These are actually real characters.
The genetic thing makes a lot more sense now. Because you already were making genetics and putting them into another place. It just wasn't this universe.
Wait. So when we make a city, we just made a whole city in a new universe? Every expansion is expanding and putting something in a whole different world?
It's almost like this universe is its own empty canvas. And I suppose somehow through the Vita code, you're basically birthing people to populate it, creatures to populate it.
Well, that's a mind fuck.
So they are real.
Being the Allfather was just a joke because I was a programmer. I didn't think it would be.
What worries me though is not necessarily what we found, but why was it sealed to begin with? Who applied this mind block on your father?
I don't know.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that universe wasn't blank.
It was dead.
It was
There
dead.
were people who lived in it, so I guess the next question is, where did they go?
And what destroyed them?
That's a question that I don't think Michael Stoll has the answers to.
Maybe your Vita complex does.
Who is this Dr. Kemper again? He said something about he was right.
I thought he's a psychiatrist. Why would he know about dead universes?
Dr. Kemper is bad news, and we should do everything we can
Bad
to
news.
investigate him. And let's just begin with that. Let's investigate him.
Why is he
Yeah.
bad news?
Did you not hear the recording? He's as much mixed in this as anyone.
I know.
He knows things we need to know.
But you've been saying that from the very beginning, though. He's bad news. Why? It's something we just figured out, but you've known this for a while.
Yeah, known he's bad news for a while. He is very persuasive, and he wants things, and he gets them, and he does it aggressively.
That's vague. What do you mean?
He would have me do things I didn't want to do, and he would threaten me if I didn't do them. I didn't always understand why he would have me do things, but
What sort of things would he make you do? Wasn't. Oh. What? He didn't make you end anybody, did they?
he didn't make me what?
End anybody.
No, never did that. I preferred he did.
Why did you prefer that? What did he make you do instead?
Weird things, man, like rub old people's shoulders or wipe down their shoes. It was terrible.
Like, just interacting with old people?
Being a servant to them.
That sounds like a really messed up form of exposure therapy. Being subservient to them. And this was after you were incarcerated?
Yeah.
What do you remember from before the orphanage? Can I ask you that?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I barely remember the orphanage.
What's the earliest memory you have?
I'd probably say I knew I was in pain for some reason, but I was eating the gray stuff with brown sauce.
Okay.
Wow, that sounds torturous.
And sometimes I miss it, strangely enough. Crave it every now and again. Slightly better than the brown stuff with gray sauce, trust me.
Humor me on this. Seymour, could you check him?
You want me to check him?
Yeah.
We would have
If
to.
both of you are okay with it.
Well,
I don't
remember,
wanna step on toes.
none of you four are physically in here. If you want me to dive into Cade's head, we need to jump out of Michael Stoll's head.
Fair enough.
Is this the only blocked memory?
I think this is probably the first one.
Yes, there are many others, but I'm afraid it took a lot of my energy just to unblock this one. If you want me to dive any further, I can, but I have to warn you, it could put your father into great health risk if I probe deeper without regaining my strength more.
Yeah, no, let's pop out. I don't wanna.
think you might have seen enough. This definitely changes things, literally changes the game. Not that I play it myself, but what are the moral implications if, for all intents and purposes, all of your avatars are actually living, breathing creatures in this pocket universe of some sort?
Oh my god, we abandoned, deleted people's accounts. We just like wipe real people from existence.
I don't understand. If I created Chrono's out there, and he's somehow connected to this universe as well.
So, do you remember how I have my little I can like go to my little world, right?
Yeah.
I think it's the same idea.
Maybe your avatars are realizing that they're alive and are being tired of being controlled and want revenge.
I mean,
if Chrono wants revenge,
I don't know.
what are we supposed to do?
we
Does sound familiar.
yeah.
I
It's
mean,
so strange.
it sounds like that would make sense, I suppose, if I realized one day that I'm just somebody that's being controlled by someone else. I would want to regain that control.
Is Liv and Levita trying to merge them together?
I don't think it's that. I think it's. I'm going out on a limb here, all right? I think whatever that killed that universe is influencing your father. Made the connection, allowed them to go both ways, and maybe it's starting to do what it was doing in the old universe, the dead one.
That makes sense to me. But to be certain, we can have that confirmed by Mr. Kemper. He's our next puzzle piece.
Yeah.
Perhaps. I don't get a good vibe from him.
No shit.
So, I assume I'm just gonna jump out of Gabe's dad's head. Unless there's anything.
Seymour is going to try to disengage you all out of the head, but the memory of the universe, like the universe itself, starts to pulse a little bit, and it seems to be you see these black tendril things reach out from the universe, almost as if because it's weird because it's supposed to be a memory, but it's almost like the memory is now aware that you're there, and Seymour looks very surprised. He doesn't realize what's going on himself, and these black smoky tendrils come out, and you can see just a flash of a mind flayer head, like just flash before your eyes, and it seems to try to encircle all of you, and trying to like prevent you from leaving.
Jump to a different memory. Garrow, get us out.
I'm trying, but it's whatever this force is. It's really, really strong, and like I said, I've already drained a lot of my energies just unblocking this. Ethan, it's time. If you want to. Forrest. Does Forrest have something up his sleeve? Because he's the only mentalist who hasn't been drained right now.
So I think in the moment as this mind flayer reaches out and tries to attack all of us, there is an immediate panic and immediately switch to Andante. So maybe it'll help. It's a mind flayer. I'm not sure if it has penetration or anything like that. But there is just, as the black mist swirls around, just panicked, breathing heavy, and just stop! And as they yell stop, it just roars outward of what to everyone sounds like this silent scream of just and you can hear like the cracking of almost like crystal or glass or ice, as there's this like spider web pattern of there's this thanks man thanks, I needed to laugh. There's this spider web pattern that just etches out of Forrest's mouth, like this spider web of cracked and broken glass, as it almost kind of fractures, it seems, reality itself. And this is an uncontrollable thing. So I am in a panic. I have used my breath weapon, and it can open portals to different realms. I don't know this in canon.
Right.
But that's what happens.
Cool. So in a desperation to try to escape from whatever this thing is that's trying to trap you, Forrest opens portals to other existences somehow. And the four of you sort of get blown off your feet and you start falling. And go ahead.
I'll just do my flight doesn't work, like I pull out my wings and nothing.
Right. You try to, but again, this is not the physical you. This is the mental you. That's the problem. That this is all in your head, and you're all like just falling and falling and falling. And it was the four of you together, but then it's almost like a gust of wind just like forces the four of you apart, and you get separated. And as you're falling, the bizarre thing is, each of you individually see in front of you a small object racing faster and faster and faster towards you. For each of you, it is a book of some sort, and the pages of the book are opening up. The pages are flipping, the pages are flipping, the pages are flipping. And the book is actually ginormous. It's not a normal size book. It is a giant book that you all kind of fall into. 4 individual books. Each book claps shut, and that will be the end of the session, which sets up the crossover to the Athenaeum campaign.
So does this mean we're only mentally jumping the different universes? Or did somehow it absorb our whole bodies? I like the idea it absorbed our whole bodies.
When you come back, I'm sure you'll
figure it out.
That was all.
Do I have my Minotaur?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yes, you do. Yes, you have your Minotaur. Yes.
I like to think it shattered reality, so it's like we jumped into our own bodies, but our bodies were in a different world. So it's like, hey, we're back in our bodies. Where are we?
That's crazy.
That is exactly what my breath weapon does. It shatters reality, and that's why, at least in my head, why nothing was wrong with Nathaniel Bosk. He just died because I shattered the reality around him when I accidentally used my breath weapon on him one day.
Ugh.